I'm Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic and a proud Iowa State graduate from the class of 2007. No one shows up like Iowa State fans.
And Cyclones support Cyclones on and off the field.
Your gift can provide scholarships to students, fund groundbreaking research. We could even drum up opportunities for the marching band. Visit MoveWhatMatters.com to learn how you can make an impact today.
Everyone, welcome back to the Cyclone Fanatic pregame show. I'm your host, Leah Nelson, and I've got Rob and Connor joining me for this pregame show. We're super excited for that. We'll be talking about your number 3 Iowa State Cyclones taking on UCF tonight at Hilton Coliseum at 7 p.m. It's a cold one, but we're super excited, and we'll get right into it. But let's thank our sponsors. Starting off with Channel Seed. They're the title sponsor for both the men's and women's shows this year. We're super excited. They're great people, great Iowa State fans, so we're excited to have them on board. And then our friends over at Keen Project Solutions. They're celebrating 10 years of innovation, serving ag, industrial, and commercial customers with pride. Be part of a team that values your dedication and turns your expertise into impactful solutions. Make sure you visit thinkdifferentthinkkeen.com to apply. And then we've got our buddies over at Raymond James. Thanks to Raymond James financial advisors Clay and Chase Natuzel. They're a family of lifelong Cyclone fans, assisting clients with all their financial needs for over 32 years. With offices in Carroll, Ames, and Ankeny, you can connect with Clay and Chase Natuzel at raymondjames.com/Natuzel. So thanks to all of our sponsors. All right, Rob and Connor, it's the Three Musketeers tonight.
I had to bring Rob with me. I was invited to the fun, and I can't do anything here without Rob. So,
I love it. You guys are buddies. So obviously, big game tonight. Iowa State had a tough loss last week. What can we expect from UCF tonight? It's only the second time Iowa State's ever played UCF. So, Rob, if you want to kick it off, what do you got?
Yeah, UCF, coached by former NBA great Johnny Dawkins, really tries to turn teams over. Pretty good in that regard, but also struggles to stop teams from making shots. So that'll be something to watch, see if Iowa State can break that pressure and really shoot it at a high clip from the field. And they got great guards. You know, Iowa State's guards are as good as you're going to find, but the leading scorer, Keyshawn Hall, does everything. He's 6'7", rebounds, dishes it off, and there's Darius Johnson might be their X factor because he's 2.7 steals a game, highest assist guy, averages 15, just behind Hall. So, I mean, that's what stands out to me about them. They, obviously maybe should have beat Houston at home, arguably, certainly over last weekend, and been a lot of tight, sub double-digit games in Big 12 play up, but notwithstanding a 50-point loss at home to Kansas, which is a head scratcher to say the least. But non-conference win against Texas A&M, a team that can cause a lot of problems. I know Vegas has this as a 15, 16-point spread, and Ken Palm has it at about 17. So take that for what it's worth. But a team that if Iowa State doesn't bring, one of its better efforts, can certainly hang in there and cause problems till the end.
Connor, you got any?
No, Rob summed it up really well. It's UCF 7 p.m. tip-off on ESPN+. I saw a couple comments asking what time the game was and everything like that. But really peculiar team that we've seen, they're at their best. You can almost knock off Houston, a real Big 12 power. And at their worst, you're losing by 50, getting boat raced by Kansas. Kansas team that was pissed off from the prior loss it took, I'm sure. Yeah. But it's tale of two wolves in this UCF team, and it's always really, to me, interesting to see which form of that team shows up, and you're going to be able to tell in the first 6 minutes. I guarantee it. It will either be close throughout or it's going to be a boat race. I lean towards close all the time because it really takes a lot for a good team to get blown out like that. So we'll see what happens tonight, but I'm really excited to see what team shows up from UCF because they can be really, really good with the right pieces.
You guys are both in Hilton. How do you think the crowd's going to be? Obviously, I'm glad the game is at home. It definitely helps the Cyclones a little bit, but how's the crowd looking?
Good crowd. I mean, obviously Zoom classes for first day of classes back semester because of the frigid temps outside, but
So cold.
that rarely deters fans from coming to Hilton. So early returns look like, good, strong student showing. And you mentioned UCF. I just wonder, some people have a theory that even though you don't play outside, when you come from warm weather and you walk out into what is going on here, you just kind of want to get it over with. So first 6 minutes, like you said, will mean a lot. But also, they were great early against Houston, built a double-digit lead, kept the lead for a while, and then as the game went on, they couldn't quite withstand Houston's overall strength on both ends of the floor. So if UCF doesn't have a strong start, Ken Palm and Vegas are probably right, for sure. But if they start well, drain a couple shots early, force a couple turnovers, we could be in for that type of close game that Connor talked about.
Yeah, and I've seen we have the luxury of sitting in here while the crowd fills in, where you could probably tell a little better with that question of what it's going to look like. But I think we've seen really stout crowds at Hilton Coliseum in the middle of a snowstorm. Now, low temps like this and high winds and everything like that is a little bit different. But I think Iowa State fans typically turn out pretty well. I know the flu's going around, but I can't imagine it's going to affect too many people at Hilton.
Yeah, well, Jay Bird made a good point in the comments that they beat Tech on the road, so that was a nice win. So they're not daunted by difficult environments at all. And
never daunted. I don't think we can say that. That's an Indiana deal.
Okay, well,
their football
I just said they're not.
Yeah.
So I mean, not afraid of difficult environments and can perform well in them. Hilton should give them every bit of that tonight, as usual. And I guess we'll see. But I mean, I think in the end of the day, Iowa State probably wins comfortably, finds a way to get to the free throw line, shoots a three a lot better, I would think, than 1 for 17, and has a pretty comfortable win against a solid team. Quad 2 win it would be at home tonight, but need to stack those as much as you need to stack the quad ones.
You mentioned the 3-pointer, but besides that, what does Iowa State need to do a little bit different than, last week to this week to make sure that they beat UCF?
Yeah, they've got to get to the free throw line this week. I think Saturday, their previous low going into the West Virginia game was 18 free throw attempts in a game. Saturday, they shot like 7, maybe 8. I might be getting it wrong. I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure it was 7. But they've got to get down there and draw those fouls and get to the line, because if you go to the line 10 more times in that game against West Virginia, or even talking about the 1 of 17 from 3, you're probably talking about a win, right? So I don't know. I think that's going to be a point of emphasis for them, and trying to exploit UCF's weakness on the offensive side of the ball and use that defense to their advantage, because obviously that was a thing that they were fine with on Saturday, but the offense couldn't make the shots to turn it into momentum. So
yeah, TJ always talks about being the aggressor on both ends of the floor, and West Virginia knocked them out of that role in Morgantown. Now it happens a lot to teams in Morgantown for whatever reason, but it's home in Hilton. You'd think they're going to come out and really, try to force a lot of live ball turnovers, get that early edge, and I'd expect them to shoot the ball a whole lot better back in the friendly confines here.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself. I appreciate Rob and Connor. I love this duo we've got going on. It's awesome. But thanks for joining in for this pregame show. You guys can check back in after the game. Chris will take on postgame. So go Cyclones.
You didn't even mention that we all had surgery.